The two songs that are on the list, Spring Day and Dynamite, really
Yes.
tell two very distinct sides of the
Oof.
BTS story. And I want
Yes.
to talk about Spring Day a little bit, about the
Yeah.
significance.
Spring Day is one of my favorite, personally my favorite BTS songs. It is one of my go-to karaoke songs. I think the lyrics are so beautiful. They're basically in this category of BTS music that I like to just call yearning music, which is they're expressing when will I see you again, and using this imagery of like snowflakes falling, but also like blossoms falling to convey this passage of like from the transition between winter to spring and waiting for this person to come back to their life or seeing them again in this sort of like ethereal otherworldly way. I don't know, that's how I see the song. So at its core it's a ballad, but there is a lot of this like electro synth production underneath that kind of pushes it through. And then, like I said, like RM and Suga like bringing in their raps that make it a little bit more unique and break up the structure of the song. It has become sort of this interesting piece of culture within South Korean mainstream culture because the song has been tied to the Sewol ferry tragedy, where unfortunately there was this horrible event where these elementary schoolers were taken on a field trip to go on a ferry, and something happened with the boat that ended up in this like mass death. For a long time, that song was linked to that event unofficially because the lyrics kind of convey this sadness and longing of I will never be able to see you again. And then I think a couple years ago, they've kind of semi-confirmed in interviews that they're comfortable with that song being tied to that event. And I'm not sure exactly if it was written in response to the event, but it seems like they are okay with people thinking that it's connected. Definitely. I think Dynamite is such a pivotal point where there is such a clear before and after. They have talked in interviews about the fact that they were promoting their single On for Map of the Soul in February 2020 and had to like cancel in the middle of promotions, was going to go on this whole world tour and had to cancel all of that, regroup and figure out what their next direction is. And Dynamite was the next direction. And it really like skyrocketed them at a time when people really needed escapism, like energetic music. Said like I didn't know what we would do after On, but then COVID came up. So we did Dynamite, Butter, Permission to Dance, Life Goes On. And I realized the group has definitely changed. We have to accept that we've changed. For me, it was like the group BTS was within my grasp until On and Dynamite. But then after Butter and Permission to Dance, I didn't know what kind of group we were anymore. What I get from that is that they didn't really realize that Dynamite was going to get so big, and they were just trying something. I think they were trying a lot of new things.